What if the most heartbreaking love story isn't the one that ends in a grand, tragic death, but the one where someone quietly chooses to burn out a little more every day? When people talk about pain in costume dramas, Zhou Shengchen from One and Only is always the benchmark. His line, "I will never fail the world, only Shiyi," has already carved itself into viewers' hearts. But Xiao Huan in Love and Crown brings a different, even more suffocating kind of tragedy, one that doesn't explode in a single moment, but seeps into every breath of his daily life. Zhou Shengchen dies under a clear conspiracy, crushed by the schemes of the Empress Dowager and the Prince of Guangling. His end is public, spectacular, the kind of injustice that makes the world cry out in outrage. It's a firework that burns brilliantly, then vanishes. We grieve, we rage, and we remember. Xiao Huan, on the other hand, is dying by inches in plain sight. In the 18th year of Dao, when the tatars are pressing at the borders, he drags his sick, exhausted body into morning court, still insists on handling state affairs, and quaffs blood into his sleeves. Peng worries, but he simply smiles and says, "It's nothing." That night, while everyone else sleeps, he sits alone under the lantern light, reviewing memorials until deep into the night. His face is paper pale, his fingers trembling from the effort of gripping the brush. No one writes this in the history books. No one calls it heroic. But viewers can feel every second scraping against his remaining strength. Zhou Shengchen's suffering is sharp and explosive. Xiao Huan's is slow, relentless, and terrifyingly quiet. Even in love, Xiao Huan's cruelty is reserved only for himself. Before the decisive battle at Xianshan, he deliberately distances himself from Kang and tells her coldly, "If I don't come back, just forget me." To her face, he pretends not to care. But the moment he turns away, he gives Li Mingsheng a completely different order. "If I die, lie to her. Tell her I betrayed her. Don't let her die for me." He would rather let the woman he loves hate him for a lifetime than love him to the point of following him into death. Later, when Li Mingsheng finally reveals the truth to Kang, he chokes out, "He couldn't even bear to see you cry, and yet you hated him for so many years." It's at that moment that her anger collapses into something far more painful, the realization that the person she resented was the one shielding her from the cruelest choice of all. The drama doesn't romanticize this as a simple misunderstanding. Instead, it shows the brutal logic of Xiao Huan's love. He will bear every knife himself, even if it means becoming the villain in her story. His desperation to protect her spills over into politics as well. When Kang storms into court to save Qi Changliang and causes a public uproar, the officials rush to impeach the empress for meddling in state affairs. In front of the entire court, Xiao Huan only laughs and says, "I'm the one who spoiled her." So what? He takes the blame easily, like it weighs nothing. But after court, he collapses from another fit of coughing blood. When he wakes up, his first words aren't about the empire or his own health. They're, "Don't let Kang find out." History will brand him as the foolish emperor who indulged his empress and brought disaster to the realm. What the records will never show is how many memorials he blocked, how many storms he redirected toward himself, just so she could make one reckless choice and still sleep peacefully at night. That's why Xiao Huan feels more devastating than Zhou Shengchen. They love in different dimensions. Zhou Shengchen's love is about sacrifice through letting go. He chooses to bear the pain alone so that Shiyi may live, even if it means never being with her. Xiao Huan's love is about sacrifice through endurance. He insists on having both the empire and Kang's happiness, and so he burns himself from both ends like a candle wick. He does not simply suffer once, he chooses to keep suffering, every day, as long as she can smile. The cruelest part? He doesn't even see it as tragedy. To him, all of this, the blood, the exhaustion, the accusations, the loneliness under the dragon robe, is something he accepts willingly. If Kang were ever to look him in the eye and ask, "Was it worth it?" you can almost hear his answer, a hoarse, faintly amused, utterly sincere. As long as you're happy, it's worth everything. Thanks for watching El Cupa's News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for your daily fix of Chinese entertainment. See you in the next video.